Well, folks, Donald Trump held a rally in the Bronx, New York today. Not exactly Madison Square Garden like he promised, but it went about as well as you could expect. Here, for example, is the completely sane, regular start it got off to.
Some of the greatest days of my business career were in the toughest times, but I enjoyed waking up every single morning and go to battle. A lot of people say to me today, the toughest business people that you know about, could I ask you a question? How do you do it? I say, do what? How do you get up in the morning and put your pants on? Where do you put the pants on? I'll explain it to you someday. How do you do it? How do you get up?
How do you get up and put your pants on? The best business people ask him. But it's not just them. A lot of women also ask Donald, please, won't you put your pants on? Now, we actually have an artist depiction of this monumental and historic event, and here it is. This is what Trump was referring to. Clearly, his pants here on fire. Presumably from lying. You can see the classic red tie here. And really nice touch. Not sure if those are poo stains or gold, but either way, I love it. He's going to be so happy to hear that people are making great art about him. But even before the event could fully kick off and people could start leaving earlier, which we'll see later, the Biden camp got ahead of the rally and released this absolutely disparaging ad against Trump. Take a look.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Of course I hate these people.
Donald Trump disrespecting black folk is nothing new. He was sued for refusing to rent his apartments to black families and called for the execution of 5 innocent black and brown teenagers.
And it's more than anger, it's hatred.
It's why Trump stood with violent white supremacists, warned of a bloodbath if he loses the next election, and if he's president again, vowed to be a dictator who wants revenge on his enemies. Now, who do you think that is?
Of course I hate these people.
Yeah, pretty brutal. But don't worry, Fox News was quick to come to his defense, even though they didn't really help that much.
So it does seem like they're trying to say Trump's racist. And they have to go all the way back into the 80s to say he's racist. I remember in the 80s, blacks loved Trump. In the 90s, they loved him. In the 2000s, blacks wanted to beat Trump. Everybody wanted to beat Trump, no matter what color you are. That changed when he ran for president.
Yeah, you're not really doing yourself much of a favor when you're talking like you're in the 80s, saying blacks used to like this and blacks used to want to be that. Also, Jesse, I don't see color Waters, you were born in 1978. How much of the 80s do you really remember? But mild racism aside, Waters also made sure to make room for misogyny.
And, you know, voters are like women, Dana. They want to be courted. They want you to lavish attention on them. So the Bronx is now like, hey, where you been all my life? Come over here. And he's coming, and he is going to come strong.
Pause.
I'm gonna come.
And for once in his life, he actually did come out strong. To his fan base of mostly white people. Yeah, his rally may have been in the Bronx, but as you can see from this crowd, it certainly wasn't of the Bronx, whose community is made up of majority black and Latino people. Whereas this crowd kind of looks more like what you'd expect to see at a Vanilla Ice concert. And it was full of MAGA's finest, including former congressman and now famous cameo star, George Santos.
You looking forward to the rally, Mr. Santos?
Absolutely, always.
What do you expect to happen?
Quite frankly, I have no expectations today. We're in the Bronx, so.
And George was quick to do what he does best. Take pictures with all the people whose money he stole. But moving on to the rally itself, we'll start with one of the most heinous and egregious things that Trump said. And brace yourself for this, but that way we can move on to the stupid and funny stuff after.
A terrible thing to say, but I believe it. Many of the hostages that you're waiting for and everybody's waiting for, those hostages, many of them are dead. Many of them are dead. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing, but many of those hostages are dead. It would have never happened if the election weren't rigged. It would have never happened.
Wow, what a bold and insane claim. First, to assume that what's going on in the Middle East wouldn't be happening, hostages wouldn't be taken, people wouldn't be dying if he was president. Which, if I may be frank, just f*** you for that. And second, 60 plus lawsuits getting tossed out say the election wasn't rigged. Also, you know who would be alive today if you had gracefully accepted the election results? Ashley Babbitt, you disgusting diaper-soiling piece of human diarrhea. And when you say nonsense like that, is it any wonder that people leave halfway through the rally while you're still speaking? Or your teat-suckling sycophants over at Fox cut the coverage?
Former President Trump, a big rally in South Bronx, as you see ticking off not only all he's done in New York, but all he did as president.
Even they've had enough of his crap, which mainly consisted of bold-faced lies like this next one.
We have lost respect all over the world. We were the most respected country in the world 4 years ago. We were respected more than our country was ever respected 4 years ago.
And I'll let Twitter user Joe respond to that one with 4 years ago we hit 100,000 deaths from COVID. 4 years ago, as this one returned to golf, the US accounted for nearly 1/3 of all the known lives lost around the world to the pandemic, even though we represented fewer than 5% of the world's inhabitants. It would be hilarious that Donald Trump doesn't think we were the laughingstock of the world while he was president if it weren't so goddamn depressing. And yet, despite all the nonsense, you still had idiot Trump supporters, like you can see right here, eating it up and cheering his every move. Even for things as stupid as this.
Water.
At least he got it that time.
17,000 jobs. Thank you. Oh, they don't have water. That's okay. What? Oh, it's okay. Oh. Japanese manufacturers.
But I genuinely don't know what is worse anymore. Dictator Von Diaperman or his dumbass supporters. Because even though the dipstick himself has to brag about being smart enough to know how to put his pants on, his dumb sheeple followers will continue to follow him no matter how close to the...
I had a man here say to me, if Donald Trump murdered someone on the front porch of the White House, I'd still vote for him. Are you?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes. Because it would have to be a good reason.
I think that was an edited one, right? That was...
I didn't think it was. It looked pretty live to me with no cuts in it.
Joining us live this morning from New York. Hey, good morning. Wake up.
Yes.
Wake up, wake up.
I can't hear anything.
Okay. This is your wake-up call, Harry.
Is this the video that you were talking about?
Could be, yeah.
Biden falling.
Should I watch it really quick?
Sure. So
This is Washington Post.
So I hope you enjoyed the humor I was able to pull out of his pathetic performance. Drop a like on the video if you did, and subscribe to the channel for more coverage from Really American. And for God's sakes, help us get this bumbling buffoon away from power.
Some of the greatest days of my business career were in the toughest times, but I enjoyed waking up every single morning and go to battle. A lot of people say to me today, the toughest business people that you know about, could I ask you a question? How do you do it?